Greetings, Namaskar, Adab. Friends, this is Irfan again, back with one more video, and today's video is going to be extremely important because today's video is about Rahu. Now, Rahu is a planet, a shadow planet, which is very dreaded, very feared for the results that it can afflict people with. People are really scared of Rahu and the Rahu Dasha. I have friends who are about to enter the Rahu Dasha and they have called me months in advance asking me what results they can expect, what they may go through, and how they can be better prepared. Now I tell them what I'm going to tell you today. Rahu is not a planet to be feared. In fact, Rahu is like a child who doesn't know the difference between good or bad. However, he wants to partake of things, he wants to take in. So you have sweets lying around. The child doesn't realize whether it's good or bad. He just wants to go and eat it. So Rahu is like this child who wants to eat it. However, a lot of maleficity has been attached to Rahu because some of the nature that has been given to it. Now the story goes like this, that Rahu was a demon. The incident of Samudra Manthan, where the Devtas did not want to give the nectar of immortality to demons, but Rahu was able to partake some of it before Vishnu cut off his head, and thus Rahu became one part which denotes the head of Rahu, and the rest of the body became Ketu. So Rahu and Ketu are nothing but the north and south node of the moon, and that's why in the horoscope they are always at opposite ends, almost 180 degrees across each other. Now Rahu has few qualities. Rahu personality, or those personalities which generally are afflicted by Rahu are little unkempt, haggard, and so they also will be showing a lot of tendency to be lazy, and also not keeping the surroundings clean, not being very ethical, not being very honest, and resorting to those means which normally people would not resort to. So people afflicted with Rahu personality during the Rahu planet, or having malefic results of Rahu in their horoscope during the Dasha, Rahu Dasha especially, will show a slightly different appearance, will show slightly different demeanor. The approach to you, the approach to life, the approach to work will be very different. It will become a very more materialistic approach, because the mouth denotes hunger and greed, and Rahu wants to take everything for itself. So sitting in, say, the Lagna in Aries, if that's the placement in your horoscope, first of all, in the Lagna itself means a person tends to, or people tend to talk about this placement as being a little more greedy. The way I look at it, and as the Shastras have denoted, is that in the first house in Lagna, the person starts to talk or look at himself, or what he can get out of a relationship, out of a job, out of a partnership. So because the person suddenly, the focus comes on himself, and he starts to look at what have I got from this job, what have I got from this relationship, what have I got from this partnership. People start to look at this person as more materialistic, because they feel the person has become greedy, whereas the person is actually focusing more on himself. So that's one of the reasons why people with the Rahu placement in the first house in Lagna during the Rahu Dasha are seen as people who are greedy, because the focus changes from others to self. The sitting in the Lagna in the first house, Rahu also mimics the sign that it sits in, because it is sitting in Aries. It automatically mimics Mars, and the other planet that it mimics is along with whom Rahu co-owns the 11th sign of Aquarius, that is Saturn. So Rahu, wherever he sits, he mimics the planet in whose sign he is sitting, and all the time he mimics Saturn. So here he is sitting in Aries, so he will be mimicking Mars, and because he naturally mimics Saturn, he will also be mimicking Saturn. What does this mean? So wherever Mars sits in this particular horoscope, Rahu will trigger that house. The results of that house will come by, and wherever Saturn sits in this horoscope, Rahu will also trigger the results of that house. Results of that house will also come by. So for example, if Mars is sitting in the second house of Taurus, you can take it for granted that the house, the home, the family, the dependence will come into play automatically. And because it is the sign of Taurus, the going-ons in the house and the family to some extent will also be around money, the financial part of the savings or the money coming into the house. And because it's Mars, there may be a tendency that there may be challenges or a little friction in the house because or around money. Now, because Mars sits there, normally a person with such a placement would either be the eldest in the family, if you're Mars in the second house, see if you are, or generally these people will also behave as if they're eldest in the family, because they will take on more responsibilities, and they will also be stronger in decision making and be more influential in the family also. So Rahu will be triggering the results of the second house with Mars, and Mars' other sign is Scorpio, which is the 8th house in this particular horoscope. So the results of the 8th house will also come by, though not that strongly because Mars doesn't sit there. However, Mars owns that sign. So what is the 8th house for? Untoward incidents, sudden transformational events, other people's money, in-laws, obstacles. So because Rahu is malefic to in this particular horoscope, or is not friends with Mars, so the negative side of the 8th house will be triggered, not as strong as in the second house where Mars sits, but yes, to some extent. So people who drive are normally advised that you drive more slowly, wear your helmet if you like to go on the bike. If you drive, always wear your seat belt, follow the rules, drive slowly, drive safely, and be very careful around other people's monies, especially because while there may not be an untoward incident or unethical practice from your side, there may be a tendency or there may be an accusation made against you about unethical practices around other people's money, around other people's secrets, because 8th house is also that of the secrets, and it may also trigger some health issues. And because Mars is involved in the second house and Mars also owns the 8th house, so there may be small accidents or some small events also, so be safe. Now, we also talked about Rahu also mimicking the other planet, which is Saturn. Now suppose Saturn sits in the 12th house in Pisces in this particular horoscope, whereas Saturn owns the 10th house as well as the 11th house. So what does the 12th house denote? 12th house denotes extravagance, bad pleasures, seclusion, foreign travels, foreign settlement, jails, hospitals, hospitalization, spirituality also to some extent, and so forth. So Rahu will trigger the results of Saturn during its dasha, which means that while Saturn tries to limit the extravagance or expenses, however, Rahu, looking for greed or looking at the focus being himself, spending more money, so there is going to be some turmoil. And with second house of family and the second house of savings also getting triggered, there is going to be some emotional upheaval, some challenges where you are trying to save money, but at the same time money goes out because of you becoming a little more spendthrift also during that time. And because Saturn is involved, and Saturn owns the 10th house and the 11th house, so you will become automatically more aspirational because 11th house is of aspiration. Rahu gives it the greed. So and 10th house denotes authority figures and work and career. So there may be some tussle with authority figures at work, and maybe with even some sort of a misunderstanding with father. So one needs to be very careful during Rahu Dasha how and what relations, how relations with superiors and and as well as authority figures play out. If you are caught breaking a rule outside traffic rule, be rest assured that you will be fined. You may not get away, whereas in some other maybe Dasha you may get away. So be a little careful. Now, what Rahu also does in this placement is that while it triggers Mars and it also triggers Saturn, its fifth aspect and ninth aspect also come into play. So with this fifth aspect, Rahu is aspecting the fifth house of Leo. Now see where does Sun sit? Say Sun sits in the seventh house in Libra with Ketu, because Ketu sits diametrically opposite of Rahu, and Sun sitting in the sign of Libra, which is owned by Venus, and Sun is sitting in this house does create some friction in the marital relationship and also business results. And so combined results of the second house, the 12th house and the 7th house shows that there may be challenges between you and your spouse or with your business partner because of expenses that you're doing, and because of which there will be challenges at home and less money coming in at home. So if you see, all of it comes together whenever dasha happens and how your placement happen. And the 5th house also denotes children, denotes speculative gains. So you may also want to look for more gains. If it is not coming from work, you may think of investing some monies in shares or long-term gains or mutual funds and so forth. And with the 9th aspect, Saturn, Rahu is aspecting the sign of Sagittarius, and depending on where Jupiter sits, those results also combine. So both of all these 4-5 results combine. Now let's look at if Rahu is sitting in the sign of a friend rather than that of an enemy. Say Rahu is sitting in the Lagna itself in the 1st house, but in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, which is a friend. So automatically you will find that Rahu now aspects the 5th house, which is now of Virgo, which is that of Mercury, who is also a friend, and the 9th house now becomes Capricorn, which is that of Saturn. So in this particular placement, Rahu sitting in the sign of a friend, aspecting 5th and 9th, both are friends, you will get better results or more beneficial results based on where the particular planet is sitting. So if it's Mercury sitting in the 2nd house, in the 4th house, you will get better results of the 4th house in terms of material gains, better relationships with the mother, or inclusion of mother in decision making with respect to buying of property, buying of vehicles, going for materialistic gains. And 9th house is that of Saturn, based on where Saturn sits. If Saturn still sits in the 12th house, you will find while Saturn is debilitated, you may find some challenges. However, if Saturn sits in some other house, you will get better results of it. So friends, there's no need to fear Rahu, just like you don't need to fear any other planetary placement. Rahu just acts like any other planet. Any other planet which sits in the sign of an enemy does give you not so good results, and sitting in the sign of a friend or friendly sign, it gives better results. Same thing with Rahu, just that the maleficity of Rahu increases because it's a very strong planet. So Rahu can really do extremely good for you if it's placed in a beneficial aspect, sitting in the beneficial house in the sign of a friend. So be rest assured that either ways you should be better prepared to either be more careful or to partake the goodness that Rahu will be throwing at you. If it's goodness, it could be really good time for you in the Rahu Dasha. So friends, please like this video, please subscribe to this video. More will come your way, and if you want to reach out to me for any clarification or personal consultation, please find my email in the link below. And till we meet some other time, thank you.